Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 welcome. It's Tuesday again, which means it's time for another one of these. Whatever this is. It happens every Tuesday and Thursday. That's about all I know. Hello. Yeah, welcome to I think we got a couple new viewers here, I think, on the YouTubes. So thank you for coming by. We've got two YouTube streams now. I thought I'd get with the times and keep my regular horizontal one and also offer a vertical one for folks who were tuning in on a mobile device that supports vertical better. The integration is actually working shockingly better than I thought. I was led to believe that the stuff coming into my end or the stuff on YouTube would actually be separated, but on the actual YouTube chat, like on the YouTube chat widget, they seem to be combining, which is great. And I think even maybe on the on-screen chat, they are combining, which is great. I was like, people are going to be separated and blah, 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 but that doesn't seem to be happening. So maybe these tools actually figured that out, which is fantastic. So anyway, that's admin stuff. Sorry about that. So yeah, as Starlight Midori Land pointed out, up until yesterday morning, though I think I changed it sometime in the afternoon, I had a different plan for this stream today. And that plan was to play more of the thing that I've been living and breathing recently, because my next longer form documentary style YouTube video was going to be on it. It was going to be Final Fight ports. We played the original Final Fight back a few streams ago, the arcade version. I sure did not one credit clear it. But I was going to try some of the ports just so we could talk about those and look at those. And then things happened. So anyone who knows this channel, there's a good, or I should say the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel is still pretty young. So maybe not as many people know that, but the YouTube channel's been around for a couple years. So anybody who knows that, there's a good chance that they know it for Scrolling Down the Belt, which is my series that kind of attempts to go through beat-em-ups chronologically. And very, very early in that chronology came games from Technos Japan and games from a guy named Yoshihisa Kishimoto, who directed and, had a heavy hand in creating games like the Kunio-kun series, Renegade, and Double Dragon, and other things. Unfortunately, on Monday, his passing was announced at 64 years old. So given how instrumental his work has been to my work and the genre that we all love, I thought it was important to take the stream and sort of explore some of his early works as, sort of a way of paying tribute to him. Because I think he's left us all with some pretty good memories from the games that he's made over the years. Now, I guess I'll switch my layout here. Hold on a second. There we go. There's a picture of him in his younger days. One of my favorite pictures of him. There's one of him going around in kind of like a leather jacket and sunglasses these days, which is also a good one. But this is one of my favorite pictures of him. And we did some of the games we played tonight. We did play on my very first stream a few weeks ago, however long ago that actually was. What is the passage of time anymore anyway? But they're games I love to revisit, and we're also going to be looking at a couple of the ports, the home ports too, which we didn't look at the first time. So there'll be some new stuff in it for folks who's like, all he does is play these games. It's the the thing that Lord BBH complains about all the time, where somebody's getting up in his face and saying, all you play is Space Harrier or whatever. So I guess I'm gonna maybe get that, at least for the straw man in my head, with early Technos Japan beat 'em ups. Yeah, but Kishimoto was really fundamental to that company's early output. He had a couple of games before the Technos Japan games that everyone knows. He started in the game world at Data East, and he made a couple of Laserdisc games like Road Blaster and things like that, which we won't be playing today, unfortunately. I try sometimes to do skillful play, though that's not a requirement for the stream necessarily. But I've played those games. I just didn't have time to test them. I didn't get to fire them up. So we'll mention that part of his career and know that they were important, but we're going to be focusing on the thing that's a little bit more near and dear to this channel, which is beat 'em ups. So, yeah, I mean, without further ado, we'll just, we'll kind of let the work speak for itself here, and we'll revisit one that we've played here on stream before. I did not manage to get the 1cc on this because, well, you'll see. These aren't specifically 1cc attempts, especially some of the home ports. I'm pretty rusty at those. But you know what? We're going to check them out anyway because they're an important part of history. So this is everybody's favorite Renegade, Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun, whichever version you prefer. It's kind of the same thing with a different look, right? It's Kunio punching guys. It's got the original Japanese version has that lovely Tsupari aesthetic, which I think makes it so much more enjoyable than Renegade, right? Renegade has its charm. I'm sure people have some good memories of it, but for me, this version is the way to go because it just kind of, it has, actually, hold on a moment. Something has happened in the background here. Me hitting a button on RetroArch, which was also up, which is probably my problem, is reading both inputs, just started playing a game. So that's fun. And this is jump kicks the game for the most part. I kind of explained this the last stream too, but your safest tactic in this game is jump kicking guys. I kind of went in a little bit harder on the guys with the weapons earlier on the stream, and then we get the boss who comes out here. This is Riki. I forget what they're called, and they gave him their own names in Renegade. He likes to toss you off when you get him when he's too low health here, and then you try your best to run off the edge before the time runs out. But if you're far enough from the edge, you just don't get there. It's too far away. The good thing about this game is it's nice and breezy, right? Like this is kind of the first belt scroller. Before this, everything was a Kung Fu Master, a Spartan X that sort of scrolled down one plane, right? But here it's like we're moving up and down. We've really come pretty far here, and people attribute that to another Kishimoto game, which we'll look at on this stream for sure. I got the timing on that one, nice. And I missed the timing on the other one, so, you know. You win some, you lose some. But yeah, when you see him coming up from below you and you stick that kick out, you can, I always forget the number of these guys. Like, I'm always like, how many motorcycle guys are there? Oh, that's right, and I always get it wrong by one, it seems like. But yeah, first belt scroller. Needed to be completely retooled for America because nobody here knew what this aesthetic was, right? This was not a thing that people recognized. It's still not a thing that a lot of people recognize, though. With the proliferation of certain manga titles and just like the proliferation of manga in general, I kind of feel like there's a chance it might be a little bit more recognized these days, but I don't know, like how many American anime and manga fans still, know Bebop High School or Crows? Like, probably only pretty hardcore ones, right? And I don't know. I guess Tokyo Revengers would be the newest analog, the newest kind of entry in this type of franchise, right? I don't know if we've got any fans of any of those series in the audience here today. But I don't know. I've always kind of dug that aesthetic. I've dug the Tsupari aesthetic. I really like it. It does a lot for me. Oh, your daughter reads Tokyo Revengers. Okay. Yeah, I've not read it. I've watched the anime for what of it there is available. And oh god, I'm like coming up on time here. Holy cow. Water. No. Yeah, Tokyo Revengers, I guess, is the crows for young people. The Bebop High School for young people. But yeah, Tokyo Revengers is pretty neat in its own way. It has a little bit more of a time travel thing going for it. So I guess it tries to do a little bit more with the story than what if high schoolers were just beating each other up. But honestly, do you need more than that? Isn't that enough? Isn't that enough for a story? I ask. I guess maybe some people don't think it's enough. But oh, thanks, Chibi UFO. I knew I had to. I knew I had to shift course when I heard about Kishimoto's passing. We're not gonna have time to check out his entire body of works, unfortunately. But we're at least gonna hit some of the main ones that people really know and love. You really kind of have to learn this game. It's not something that I think most people just pick up and are good at. Can I get her before me, Suzu? Yes, I can. Nice. Nice. Okay, cool. This is a good run so far. Good omens here. All right, come on. Line them up. Get her. Yep. And we want to bait me Suzu over. Yeah, keep doing this. Keep getting her to run into jump kicks, because she will mess you up if she gets a hold of you. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I hope not to get the slap, though it could happen. Probably won't at this rate. I need to get her down to 1 health before I do this. Ah, not quite enough time to hit the door. Is that what she says in in Renegade? Does she say get out of town? But yeah, this is if Kishimoto himself is to be believed, this is at least a semi-auto, and I get the knife stab right away. Good. And right after I said this was a good run, the final boss says that. Okay. But if Kishimoto is to be believed, this is a semi-autobiographical tale of his life. Going to a rough and tumble high school and, fighting in the streets and all that. That is the worst luck I have had with these knife guys in a while. We're gonna do one more credit attempt on this. Usually I at least get to Sabu. But after one more attempt, yeah, rip that attempt. One more attempt and we'll get to the Famicom version, which is its whole own thing. Not incredibly transferable skills there, I wouldn't say. Some, but not all. Because it is certainly not what you would call a straight port of this game. And yeah, you can kind of get back on the guys and mount them again if you're quick enough. There's some real stuff in this game. But those knife guys are really the big, the big choke point, I feel like. Come on, get away from... No, not you. Oh, for God's sake. You're going off the edge. Just for that, you're going off the edge. Or I'm going off the edge. Yeah, Sabu. Why, I hope we get to him tonight. He's a menace. There's a cool trick. I can actually do a save state like I did on the first stream here. There's a cool trick I'll show that makes, if you can line it up right, that makes Sabu and his parade of knife men a good bit easier, but it took me a long time to figure it out. Like, I had to scour the internet for like Japanese replays to find someone who was using this trick. Because most 1cc's of this, they kind of hope to get lucky on the knife guys and Sabu, and that's really it. Like, they just do dashes, 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 which is the strategy for the knife guys in general, even though God knows it just failed for me. But it's just much more random when Sabu has the gun. You have to be so much more careful. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. And it turns out there was a better way, though it's still, it is not what I would call easy by any stretch of the imagination, but get behind? I did get the timing right because I missed that first jump. Come on. Circle back around. I like to keep my my back up against the wall here because it just kind of helps me line things up a little bit better. Though it does take them a lot longer to come around this way, and you'd stick the leg out for that guy, though the other one got me. Taking more motorcycle hits here than usual, but that should be okay, assuming I'll move up forward for this guy to hit him, get him a little bit sooner. There we go. Oh, nice. You learned the game recently. Okay, do you I'll have to show you and see if you use the same Sabu trick that I do or not. Because like I said, I had to scour for it quite a bit. It doesn't seem to be a trick that just everybody knows, though who knows, maybe I was looking in the wrong places. Come on. I would like to separate you. There we go. Yeah, I try and get these guys separated out because they're the ones with the weapons, even though they're gatekeeping me here. Guy doesn't want to get punched. Why doesn't he want to get punched? All right, and now we can go back to our jump kicking nonsense here. They like to duck it, though. That's the thing about this game, is the jump kicks are not, they are not foolproof. They can be ducked, though God knows that should not keep you from spamming them. I don't think you can knock him. Yeah, he doesn't have knockback, so knockback at least in the same way. So I don't think you can knock Shinji here into the water. Come on, though, Shinji. We are gonna. Yeah, can't get on you yet. I need a lit. Okay, all right. Oh God. All right. What? That's bullshit. You all saw that, right? That's bullshit. If you get one knockdown and just mash punch over him while he tries to get up, the knife guys will stay. Really? Huh. Okay. That might be an easier tactic than the one I use. They might still try and get in sometimes, but if you're smooth, you can react to them and keep them out. Sabu doesn't have an attack that will hit you if you're close. Yeah, that part is true. Let me go to a save state here. Well, first of all, let me... Oh, is that not... Maybe my save states are corrupted for this or something? Which, let's see, 5, 4... Really? Okay, that's crazy. Must be in the MAME upgrade or something in the ROM updates. Let me see if I can get there. Let me just see if I can get there. If not, I have a YouTube video, a 1cc video on this that shows my tactic. Beat 'em ups inaccurately represent the effects. Yeah, I feel like you would just absolutely get blown up if you tried jump kicking like that at people repeatedly in real life. Very I'm no street brawler, but strikes me as kind of a terrible idea, personally. Though I don't know. Who knows? Any street brawlers here, let us know if you've had success repeatedly jump kicking people in any of your endeavors. All right, good. That's what we were looking for. Yeah, I feel like until it gets until it gets to the knife guy, Misuzu and her crew could give people a little bit of trouble. I could see it. But really until I feel like you get to that last stage, it's just not. Yeah, leaving your feet at all is generally a bad idea, right? Though I don't know, I feel like these guys are a little too respectful in how they approach Kunio. Are my alerts not working? I feel like that should have triggered an alert. I will have to check OBS in a moment here. Or maybe it did and I missed it, but I should have heard it through through headphones. But anyway, thanks for the follow, Fannels or Funnels. Which one is it? Is it Fannels or is it Funnels? You tell us. Come on. Oh, okay. There's still 2 of you left. 2, maybe 1 now. Oh, I thought you were coming from behind for whatever reason. Come on. Good job. Come on, one more time. Okay. Try and get through these guys before we run too low on time here. Oh, come on. All right. Yeah, it sounds like quite the conundrum, so I get it. That's very risky. I should not be doing that, getting that close to the water. But that does allow me to knock some fools in theory. There goes 1 fool. Come on, you're going in the water. Oh, maybe you're not going in the water. You're stopping. There you go. Come on. Oh my god, I am getting lit up by these guys here. Okay, this is this is just not good. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just got, wow. How am I not dead from that? It doesn't matter though, because my time's gonna run out. Yep. So, I guess I just didn't get the second life on that level, because normally you get points to your second life on that second stage. You'll hear like a chime. And Kishimoto insists you fight the motorcycle guys head on, just like you did as a teenager. Exactly, right? It's the only way to do it, really. Right? You can't have a motor. Well, we'll see what happens when Kunio gets a motorcycle of his own. One more time. One more attempt here, and then we will move on and ahead. But yeah, no, the coward's way is to fight a motorcycle with a motorcycle. You gotta jump kick them off the motorcycle. That's the only acceptable way to do it. Get off. All right. Yeah, I don't know if there's any preference of NES Kunio or NES Renegade versus arcade. I am your spoilers. You're going to see the home port in a minute here, but I think the arcade version is just worlds better. The NES Famicom one just did some odd stuff, which most of them I don't think were very good design decisions. All right. Once more with the motorcycles, and that's not a good a good start, is it? The timing looks so easy, but they can sneak up on you, and they can also come up from behind, which is where you want to kind of do the kick there, like this guy. But the timing even for that is a little bit tricky. You got to kind of practice it. It's always earlier than you think it should be. All right, okay, that was a good run of the motorcycle guys. Best one I've had in a while. All right, where's the other weapons guy? Oh no. Okay. No, come on. Come on, sir. No. All right. Can we knock you in the water? I think we can. I think we can. There we go. We gotta get at least one guy in the water, right? It's maybe two? Maybe two? Huh? Oh, you're not quite going in, okay. There we go, now you're going in. All right, you guys, this is exactly what you did to me last time. I need to... I was hoping... Come on. Good, okay. Now at least I'm hopefully not gonna get surrounded again. Yeah. You're not ready yet, I know. Here, let's go a little bit closer to the water. And we shouldn't run out of time. Come on. Still too early. Okay, fine. Fine! Didn't quite make it. Yeah, the maze and stuff is pretty bad. And yeah, the enemies are all just sort of like, they all just kind of look like Muppets. As we'll see in a second here. They're just like goofy looking Muppets that don't really have any distinctive traits. Like they still do kind of keep me Suzu. And they still have, like the bosses all still are there by name. And the same stuff doesn't even always necessarily work the same way. It's on one hand, I sort of appreciate what they did for tailoring it more to the NES, but I just don't think it actually worked out that well. But we'll see what people think in a second here. This will be my last attempt at the arcade version here for the evening. See if I can get one of you. Oh no, here comes Misuzu. No. I mean, the only one you really need to worry about is Misuzu. The others are just kind of a bonus. Okay, you guys are gonna... And they'll just kind of go away if you get... Oh, okay, here, you can see the slap. I got. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had to do this with, like, carting all of them around and not hitting any of them. But and one got me with a whip, too, for God's sake. Okay. No, she's gonna get me if I'm against the wall like that. We don't want that. Oh, God. Okay. No. Come on. We gotta skip up. Oh, hold on. I didn't get the mount in time. Hopefully I don't end up running out of time. Here, oh God! It's very inconvenient to have them doing this. I will say. No. Okay, that's fine. It was not meant to be. Oh, we get another attempt, though. That's true. Because we did finally get that second life this time. All right. Sandwich in between two of them. Come on. I keep hoping I can take one of them out. No, but I can't. Okay. I keep hoping I'll catch one of them, another one of them with a jump kick too, that they'll come running with her, but they're just not doing that. You guys are not grouping up like I want you to here. Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Okay. She does seem a little bit random sometimes, like what she'll catch, what she won't get hit by, and what she will get hit by. I thought I could get lucky there. All right, come on. Really? You're not even gonna give me that. Okay, this is not going well. Like how? There's at least one of you, for God's sake. Good. I'm gonna get this. That's probably gonna be my health. Yeah. Oh well. That's fine. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. All right, let me see very quickly if I can see what's going on with my OBS alerts, because I had a follow there and it should have done a thing and it didn't do a thing. I also have something else saying that the browser source isn't connected, though that may be outdated information. Let me just do a quick test from Twitch here. I know this is like, I've seen streamers have this problem like all the time, and I'm like, how can it not be working? But as it turns out, sometimes weird stuff just happens. And it's like, why does it happen? Okay, so the alert did play. Maybe I'm just not getting it in monitoring. And probably you all heard it too. Okay. Just OBS being weird. Sometimes you need to like unmonitor and remonitor a source for whatever stupid reason. And it just starts working. So just OBS things. All right. Anyway, let me get our next one prepared. So that was the arcade Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun from 1986. And so now, if you fast forward a year later, you get the lovely home port. This came west as well, also rebranded as Renegade, because why not? Why wouldn't it still be Renegade? Kill MAME here for a second so I don't do double inputs. But as before, we're gonna do Nekketsu and not Renegade. Sorry for all you Renegade and not Nekketsu lovers out there, if there even are any of you. Maybe there are. But we're gonna stick to the real stuff. And the real stuff is this. I said it's this. I said it's this. Oh, we got a shoo-choo. Hold on. We got a shoo-choo. The first shoo-choo. Actually, hold on. Let me adjust the stream volume here too, since this is a little bit higher. All right. So this is my first one of these, but for those of you who are Game Center CX familiar, you will probably recognize this instantly. I have, I'm not sure really what you'd call them in English, but like cooling sheets So like these kind of things here. So like they're sort of like this aloe like cooling gel type sort of thing, and they are a little adhesive. So like the idea, and anybody who's seen Game Center CX will recognize this, is you just usually kind of puts them on his head when he gets a little in a an intense moment. So I thought that would be a fun channel point redemption, and thank you, Chibi UFO, for cashing in for that. All right. This volume on that seems good. So this is the Famicom version of Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun, and you might think, oh, the graphics in the arcade well, I mean, look at the screen already, right? You can tell that they're a bunch of Muppets. Like, they are a bunch of Muppets. And already you see Kunio riding a bike on the title screen. So that may or may not be a thing. But look at that goofball. Like, he just gets pulled into the car. Oh, really? Can you guys not see the... Really? All right, hold on. Oh my god, okay. I'm a dumb idiot who doesn't know how to do things. How about now? In my defense, that's the first time that's happened to me, I think. So, now, screen. Sorry about that. I have the wrong thing projected to my prompter up here, and so I made a dumb mistake. Sorry about that. I'm testing out some different OBS things because I'm trying to figure out what caused me to crash repeatedly a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, so this is the Famicom port of Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun. So you might have thought, the graphics in the arcade version weren't all that. Yes, OBS is cruel and fickle. If nothing else, it is that. But you might have been thinking, this is not, the graphics in that arcade game weren't great shakes, right? Like, surely the NES could do that. And like, it probably could, better than this. But they really kind of made their own, this game is its own thing that's sort of like based somewhat heavily off of the original game. And so you got these goofy ass Muppets walking around here, being thrown into cars. And I don't know if y'all can see it, but this is in the real game too, because I noticed this when I was playing it on my real cartridge. If you look to the kind of lower right of the N in Kunio-kun, you actually get these two black pixels that flash for a little bit of period of time, like disrupting the blue background. It happens, like, I think after he gets thrown into the car. Yeah, like right here. They're kind of happening right there. There's a couple black pixels that flash on screen for whatever weird reason. Anyway. So you've got, the old two-player alternating thing as well. And you've got two different levels of the game. So when we pick one-player game... All right, and so it's the control scheme is kind of the same, but your jump kick is both buttons at the same time. And like in that way, but it's not directional. So like you hit the same two buttons to jump kick either way, and it's more controlled by your direction. Oh yes, I also have retro achievements on, so this is not explicitly a retro achievement stream, but you may see them pop up because I decided, I'm playing enough of this stuff on emulators, I might as well have this turned on. Maybe we'll do some retro achievement stuff in the future, specifically. But like your tactics are the same. Oh, Dark Tetsuya, welcome. Thanks for coming by. I think this is your first. You are a frequent commenter, but I think this is your first stream. Double Dragon. I agree. I have opinions on on NES Double Dragon that I will be sharing as well. I don't have much of a soft spot for this. I didn't play it back in the day. But they kind of changed it, right? So you're getting on the subway car now, which is a little bit of a different thing, right? I also feel like they throw too many enemies at you in this version. Like, there are some sequences that are just like, they just keep coming. That we'll see a little bit later here. But yeah, I definitely think the NES Double Dragon had more ambition and like more thought put into it. Kunio says the Yamanote can wait. I have asses to kick. That's right, Enerjax. This is the NES, the Famicom port of Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun, before he looked like the cute little, you know, stubby chibi guy that you know and love. This is what he looked like on his first NES outing. And I can't say that I love it. He just looks like a goofy-ass Muppet. Yeah, Shinjuku Station, just they really expanded it over the years, right? It's just, it used to be just this little platform. And there we go. Yeah, you're showing off what I especially don't like about this version. In the arcade, enemies with weapons can't be jump kicked, so you had to group them up away from everyone else. Yeah. Yeah, it really is just jump kick the game, for sure. And you notice no bikes at the start of this, right? We got bikes in the background there. You remember playing the Famicom version many times when you were a kid? Okay. I mean, we all grew up with stuff that was maybe not the best, objectively speaking, right? But like, we have good memories of it because, oh yeah, and we get the power. We get to send them flying. Boom! When you pick up the P there. I see Enerjax found the new free emote that I added there. The, what are they? I think they're technically called the Thieves from Golden Axe. The guys who steal all your magic and then you gotta beat them up to get it back in between each level. So another free emote for folks there. Yeah, not even a vending machine on the Shinjuku platform there. And then, okay, here we get the motorcycle guys, but it's like... Alright, I have to relearn the timing of this here, because it's kind of weird. Okay. And we get a few of them. Alright, it's a little earlier than I would think, is what it is. Yeah, okay. And wait for it. Oh, that was too early. Okay, and then you just... How many of you are there again? Too many? Yeah, the timing, and then, oh, look at this! Look at this! What do we got here? This was not in the arcade game. What is this? It's Kunio kicking guys off of bikes. I admit I think this is pretty neat. It doesn't do much gameplay-wise, but it's cool. Oh, and I think Shinji's thing is like flying punches worked better. Flying punches, dashing punches even. Okay, he's... We're trading, though, is the thing. Oh, come on, Shinji, you are giving me the business here. Alright. Oh, that was too early. Oh, no, we don't want to get locked in a... There we go. There goes Shinji. Get in the chopper! Enerjack shared a amusing Blue Sky post earlier of children's toys that are basically American-style chopper motorcycles, not like Tony Chopper. And how they were like, you know, there's a better way of putting this for sure, but like, you know, facilitate your child's dreams. Like, let them dream by being able to dream of being American bikers. Is that a P? Okay. Go fly. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go. We're gonna flip that one. Just completely locking me out there. Yeah, and there's just kind of no difference between these enemies here. Like, you don't need to treat the whip ones any differently than you need to treat the ones with the bags. Unlike in the arcade version, you can just kind of do the same thing, which is jump kick. Over and over and over and over. And hurt your hand if you're playing on an actual NES pad. I'm playing on a stick currently. You can't see it, but I've got a stick down here. And much easier for me to do that way than on a real NES pad doing this. Like those corners, I mean, the NES controller is classic, but those corners, they cut into your hands. And so here's where they start messing with you. What door do we go into? Is it this one or is it the stairs? And actually, it's the stairs. And here's Misuzu. Let's see, at least we got the timer reset for Misuzu. I think we're dashing punch Misuzu. Oh, God. Misuzu, no! Not the slap. Oh, traded there. Oh, no, I wasn't trying to do that necessarily. Oh, God. Okay. There we go. There's Misuzu. Yeah, Dr. Pepper, the official drink of a... I mean, I guess that's the closest you can get to, like, chugging a beer, right? On your chopper. Is, maybe the Dr. Pepper is the perceived tough guy drink of Americans or something to Japanese kids, I don't know. And then, at least we don't get guys with knives, is what I will say for this level. Like, I do not miss not having, or I do not miss, dealing with those knife guys. And there's like weird little power-ups that pop up here, like I just picked up a heart, which I think is maybe a life refill or something. And the P's, as you saw earlier, are kind of like weird temporary power-ups that just like send dudes flying off the screen. Knocking heads. Yeah, in if any of you are wondering about these achievement names, in the English version of this, so in Renegade for the NES, they call him Mr. K. He's not Kunio, he's Mr. K. Come on. Come on, you Muppets. And after that, way too long parade of enemies. So it's the middle orange, and I have this like noted down here, like I have not memorized this. So it's the orange door, and then you get into this room with these guys, and you sort of go through this gauntlet of dudes. They throw bosses at you, which we'll see in a minute. Sometimes multiple bosses at you at once, which is crazy. So you do left, middle, right. Mr. K ain't tough enough for me. Mr. K. And see, here's 2 Rikis, which is crazy. And you don't have any health bars for them because they're not technically the bosses of this level, right? So you can't quite tell where they are on the, you can get on top of me and punch me meter. You just gotta kind of figure it out for yourself. Oh, you got jump kicks too, I see. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Not yet. All right. Nice. Okay. All right. I know. It wasn't jump kicking me before. Maybe he just learned that. He just learned that in the time since. So we're doing left. We got the stereo and the big... Oh, God, I went the wrong door. I did not mean to do that. Oh, no. Now it took me back outside and I have to go through this whole gauntlet of enemies again. I just moved the stick up unintentionally and I walked into the right door. Oh my gosh. That is terrible. Mr. K! What are you doing, Mr. K? But this is, in a way, this is almost more true, right? This is like the true experience to be had from the NES version of this game. Because, like, how would you know, right? Like, I mean, I guess you could have bought a guide or something. There's, yeah, it's an insane house design, really, when you think about it, right? Like, why? But it's like the argument of, like, why, how does Dracula get through his own castle like this? Or, like, how does, you know, Dr. Eggman get to his lab or whatever when it's this, like, insanely convoluted? It's like that old argument. Come on, you muppets. I'm getting sick of you. Oh, no. All right, you got to see the throw at least. I think, unfortunately, what will be my enemy here is time. Unless it resets again when I go through that door. Come on! Alright, so again, it's the middle orange one. I can feel this thing coming off. Okay, it did reset. Good. Dracula 100% bought the guide for his own house. Yeah, he's like, I can't. Now, did Dracula design that, or did he, like, buy the castle from someone? Like, it's, you know how when you buy a new house, you're like, the thing you always do is you're like, why did people make these decisions? Like, these are the dumbest decisions I've ever seen, but I have to live with them, you know, until I have money to, like, renovate or whatever, right? All right, do not walk into the right door this time. Okay, yeah. Maybe I should play the safe strats here. Jump kick you guys a bunch. No, I was not trying to get on you. And this game has the same problem that the arcade version has, right? Where it's like sometimes you unintentionally get on top of them, even though that's not really what you wanted to do. Yeah, why you had your house built to order because no surprises, no wall. I don't know, but wouldn't a wall chicken be a pleasant surprise though in a you know a moment of extreme hunger? Is there ever a time when you wish you're like, if only I could just knock out random bricks in my wall and get a delicious piece of meat? The PS2 is probably more sanitary of a thing to have found in your apartment than a piece of meat, though, to be fair. All right. Early. This one, so I did left, middle. Yes, inside bikes. Like, you know, more inside bikes, actually. And there are easy and more complex routes through this. This is actually one of the more straightforward ones, I would argue, even though it may not seem like it. All right, and then right, and now basically welcome to hell, because Sabu is a fucking menace in this game. Here comes Ondoria! That's where the Ondoria comes from. Shoes is one thing, now bikes. Yeah, at least it starts me at Sabu. So my problem is sometimes I don't get the dash off. No! Okay. And so if you don't get the dash off, like, you're kind of screwed, because that gun... Oh. That shot did not... Oh, God. Okay. Nope. Nope. No! Ondoria! Do I have one more life? Come on. Okay, good. I can do this. I can do this. I can feel it. Yeah, I gotta change axes. This is the thing No! He fucking kicked me, stunned me, and shot me in the face. All right, I think this is my last chance. Oh no! Sabu! Oh god, Sabu! Oh my god. Are we in Sabu's house? Is he the one to blame for all the doors? I think it is Sabu's fault that house was that way. He is like presumably the Yakuza boss that has all the money. I'm gonna try this one more time. I know this is not quite as breezy as the arcade version, but I want to give it one more time, one more try. See if I can... I guess I'm just kneeing him in the groin there or something. He was just kind of doing a little shuffly knee. Can I do both of these guys at once? Oh no, it's not both at once, but... Yeah, I mean, it probably is why he's so angry, right? Look. But, according to what I looked up, Kishimoto also... He directed the original... Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun, but supposedly he also directed this one. So this is probably one of the things he was also more directly involved in. We're getting back on the Yamanote-sen. We're back. You know, the Yamanote-sen, known for its yellow cars. As we've surely all seen. I do like that it retains the rockabilly soundtrack, like they didn't try to do anything with that. That's pretty good. Big fan of the soundtrack to this game. And the original, of course, as well. Kishimoto worked on more home ports. Yeah, I think in aggregate that is true. That he ended up doing more of the home ports than he did the arcade stuff. And we won't totally get into some of his arguably less successful later stuff that he worked on. Like we'll save that for another stream. But yeah, he definitely worked on some stuff later that weren't all home runs. But like, I feel like most of what he worked on was interesting, at least, right? Even if it wasn't, even if they weren't all amazing games or they weren't all commercially successful or whatnot. If we've got like a sumo billboards over there. Omae nameten janezo. Don't mess with me. It's the G-rated version of that, I guess. Try and do more mounts on these guys to get through them a little bit quicker this time. I mean, I can appreciate someone who played this early on, viewing this the same way I view the arcade version, which is like it's just real breezy and like not too difficult, at least until you get up to a certain point, until you get up to Sabu, who just like gives you the kick to get you in stun lock and then shoots you in the face. He didn't even... I don't know, I mean, he played pretty dirty in the arcade version because he wasn't even, you know, he wasn't even taking you on alone, right? Like, he had a room full of knife guys with him. But, at least he didn't stun you and then shoot you in the face while you were in stun lock. Like, that's pretty rough. Oh, okay, alright, now you're looping me now. Nice. Thanks for stopping by. All right, time to kick some more guys off of bikes. Choppa. It's the every Japanese child's dream. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe this is where it came from. Maybe this is why it was their dream, right? They wanted to knock guys off of choppers, just like their hero. Just like their hero, Kunio-kun. dash punching guys left and right, you know. Oh, okay. Yeah, changing axes, I feel like when they get up is the old beat 'em up chestnut is the trick to a lot of these, though Shinji is still... I'm still trading with him, but that's okay. There we go. I keep wanting to do the arcade style controls on this, and it keeps not being that. But I wanna hit her. Here she goes again. Ooh, yeah. I don't use the throws enough. The throws are very satisfying, but it's just, you know... The cheap strat is definitely just to do the jump kick. We all know it. We all love it. We all established earlier how it's an extremely effective fighting technique when fighting in real life. Just walk up to a person and jump kick them over and over again. You'll absolutely be successful and not at all be destroyed if you adopt that particular fighting technique. I mean, who would know better than Kishimoto, right? Alright. Stairs. Now Misuzu. Come on, Misuzu. You're not quite the menace you were in the arcade version here, are ya? They kept her look, though. I mean, they kept all the bosses looking so far as like they're just kind of like weird Muppet versions. Oh, will she... Okay. Easy. Easiest Misuzu I've never fought. Alright, now back to this nonsense again. An endless parade of dudes. No. Misfired that jump kick. Health, sure. I think, is that even health? I wasn't even really looking at my health, so I didn't actually see if it went up or not. Goons on parade! They are always on parade. Do you think the ones with the sticks are like, that's like their version of like color guard? They give those guys the sticks, and so they have to learn like you know, choreographed routines and whatnot. We are just mowing through them this time. Look at this. Alright, we're the middle orange door. These idiots who are just regular enemies. There's just two of them. That thing to the right of the leftmost door looks like a giant wine glass. I guess it's supposed to be a sink because that's maybe a... What is that? Maybe like a soap dispenser above it? I'm just trying to think of what I'm looking at, but that's a weird place for a sink, right? Or is it just supposed to be a table? Toss a triple and beat 'em up stick. That's right. Left, left. Okay, so left. And then we're to the two Rickies again here with their giant PVM and their real cool stereo system. Oh god. Oh yeah, it might be an ashtray, that's true. This was the 80s in Japan after all. I mean, hell, that was the 80s in the US too, for that matter. Oh, and clubs, even when you were there, huh? Okay, yeah, they were still full on smoking at that point, so that probably makes sense. God, I mean, I didn't even see places there, you know, really start going non-smoking until like I only started noticing it when I visited in like 2016 or something. Maybe Fight Club may have a better read on that, being a longtime resident of when things started becoming, you know, more geared toward non-smoking. Oh. But it took a while, that's for sure, especially compared to the US, which, God, I can't even remember when it was that everything was smoking here. That was really a long time ago. That was way too early. Way too early. Okay. Come on. Way earlier than you think it needs to be. And then right. Alright. The rematch. Oh. Oh. No, you... That move! What are you even supposed to do about that move? Sabu, Sabu, Sabu. Is it distance? Am I too close to him? But if I'm too far away... Oh, I think it might be distance. It might be distance. It might just be distance. Ooh. No! Well, Enerjax, I can't... Do you want me to put on 2? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to lair him? I've got a Shuchu on from Chibi UFO earlier. I think I put a cooldown on those. Oh no. Oh, come on. I'm not putting that on camera. Let me Did I make that 1 per stream? I can't remember if I made that 1 per stream. Yeah, you'll have to take my word for it. Let me do this. I can always switch to a new one. Let me change the redemption on that real quick. Sorry, I'm doing this like midstream here. Let me find where this was. Power bracelets. My make myself an infinity gauntlet out of cooling pads. Let's see. Shuchu. If I edit this and I take the stream limit off and I say cooldown time, we'll say 1 hour, maybe you can redeem it now? I'm not sure how it resets the timer. No, I need to I haven't found the sound clip for Shuchushite yet. I got a little lazy and I just put in the reward before I had the sound bite for it. So unfortunately there's no on-screen thing for it yet, but there will be. I got a little bit of a backlog list of sounds I have to go through to get those a little bit up to date. All right. If you want to try to redeem that, you can. I'm going to try to not get murdered by Sabu. Okay. Well, for this version of Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun, I'm going to call that there. We won't take on Sabu forever here, but you can see what an absolute terror that man is in that version of the game. I mean, he's a terror in either version of. I just realized I'm wearing the Anniversary Game Center CX shirt too. That was not planned, but it just kind of worked out that way. We'll in response to my Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun performance today.
Ura, gambare, gambare.
Gambare, gambare. All right. I did a great job. Or something. All right. I'm gonna... I can feel the adhesive on this stopping being all that effective anyway. So for now, we'll take this off. And we're resetting our game here to something else anyway. So, all right. Well, actually, you know what? Before we leave the world of Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun here, we've got one more thing I want to show. It's not the version of this game that some of you may be the most familiar with, but it is the version that we're going to be playing today. And it's a little bit of a different type of game for Kunio, but I would argue it's kind of what set him on the path that he ended up going on. You may have noticed that in that original game, he did not really look much like you think Kunio to look, right? If you know, I don't know, basically every Kunio game that's come out in the last, God knows however many years from River City Ransom forward, right? But the one that did sort of start him in that direction, since I have a history of not switching to the right scenes today, let's just kind of make sure we're on the right one, and it looks like we are. This is Nekketsu Koko Dodgeball-bu. So the Nekketsu High School Dodgeball Club, aka Super Dodgeball. And probably we have some folks here who are familiar with this. Who's a Super Dodgeball fan and who has actually played the arcade version? Because I feel like the version people know is the Super Nintendo version, or sorry, not the Super Nintendo version, the Nintendo version, the Famicom version, right? I've certainly played more of that version, but the arcade version did come first. And it was kind of Kishimoto, I feel like, ended up leaving, not completely leaving, but taking more of a backseat role in the Kunio-kun series after Super Dodgeball. He came back for a couple other entries. He was more sort of a producer, but I think this is the last one he had much of a directorial hand in. And at that point, he'd moved over more to the other series that we're going to be looking at and some other, Technos Japan beat-em-ups. I'm not great at this game, so I am not at all promising a run through every team. But it's a much more lighthearted look, right, at the Kunio world. You don't have people being stabbed with knives. In fact, when you credit up, those of you may remember the intros to the levels in Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun where what's his name? Not Shinji, Hiroshi. I think Hiroshi is getting, punched and stabbed, and then Kunio runs after him, to help his friend or whatever. But in Super Dodgeball, Mate koro yaro, and you get like more of a better voice sample, I guess. And in this version, you have to pick the Nekketsu team. It's not like the NES version where you can pick, I can pick this team, I can pick that team. I have my choice, right? You can pass, you can throw, there's one ball to catch, one ball to throw, you can dash, and kind of do that. And even though that just went over to my other guy, and your big Kunio here is your team captain. I guess that's why he's so much larger than everyone. And you can catch if your timing is good. I am not a Super Dodgeball expert by any means, so I don't know a lot of the tech, but I know that if you dash, my play here is very poor because I just keep throwing it to my teammates as opposed to hitting any person. But that dashing jump shot is like kind of where you want to be, what you want to be doing. Probably need to line it up a little bit better than I am. He caught it. So like your dash makes your shot go faster. And jumping, you know, kind of varies it but slows it down. So I think if you're playing the team captain, you have, oh great, I passed it to the other guy. That was a good move. Come on, pick it up. Pick it up. There we go. Pass. Or no, I'm using the wrong... Maybe that's what I was doing. Okay, so... All right, I think my problem is I'm mixing up the pass and shoot buttons, potentially. All right. All right, so... That's... No? Okay. That's pass. Okay, so this one should be shoot. I've played this game before, I promise. That... Oh my god, I have never seen the CPU do that before. That is kind of amazing. Alright, so B is pass. I've never, like... My thing with Super Dodgeball is I've never... Like, there are some people who are very, very good at this game. And I just feel like I don't, like... I've always kind of felt like I'm missing a little bit of something about how they managed to be good at this. I'm a little bit more of a fan of the other Kunio sports games versus this one. Some of the other ones, like the ones that they had on the NES, are like peak sports game. Like you got all kinds of them, right? You've got like triathlon ones, you've got hockey ones, you've got basketball ones. Pretty much anything you can imagine, right? All right, that should be pass. All right, let's... Why? It seems like almost like both of these are passing, which is crazy to me. Let's try this. Yeah, that's definitely pass. Okay. And so if you hold on to the ball too long, it looks like they just get it. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. Okay, that was a nice grab. He just caught that one. And it does, you are sort of auto, as far as I can tell, you're sort of auto-selected the characters that you choose, that I have the arrow over them like that. I think the CPU just sort of does that on its own. Maybe I am holding directions on the stick without necessarily intending to. Let's see if that's the case. Pass it back to him. Okay, that's better. I think that might have been what was happening. And also, it seems to me like there's no reason to not just have your team captain have it all the time, because I'm not doing a particularly good job of showing it, but if you hit, there we go, there it was. If you hit right before the apex of your jump, if you're using your team captain and you do a jump shot like that, you get like the super fast version where you have like the streaking on the ball like you saw that last time. And like only the team captain can do that. And I love how they just like they ascend to heaven. Oops. When they've been hit with too many dodgeballs. Come on. Get wrecked. Again, though, in grand Kunio tradition, like we got some great music. I am a sucker for the Super Dodgeball soundtrack. Come on, get it back. Okay, that works too. It's all depleting his HP. Nice. Okay. No, I did not want to pass to you. I wanted to pass to the team captain. What? Wait, why? I had more guys. I guess player just loses at a draw? All right. I'm going to see if I can figure this out. I'm going to achieve my dreams of being a professional Super Dodgeball player. One day. Does anybody have particularly fond memories of Super Dodgeball? I have one friend who's played quite a bit of it. Come on, that was not a catch. No. All right, let's go back here, get it to the captain. Let's see if we can get something going with him. Good. Good. Is it more difficult for you, dodgeball? Oh, Super Dodgeball. We'll do Sanrio World Smash Ball on stream this time. I think that if there was a competitive scene for Sanrio World Smash Ball, I would have a chance. Not saying I'm like the best that there is, but I would at least have a chance. Like, the controls for that are much more straightforward, I guess I would say. Come on. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. Yes! We did it! Get back, Zelda! And now we're traveling. We're traveling on Technos Airlines. Oh, your local barcade actually had the US version of this for a while. That's neat. I think the arcade version is a little bit more rare of a find. And we get it.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Thank you, Enter Jackson. Thank you, Eugene Levy. We did it. We finally beat a team in Super Dodgeball. Oh. No, I did not. That was not what I wanted to do. I think what's happening is I'm unintentionally holding directions here. Good. We'll take that. Eugene Levy's congratulations, one of the only English language sound effects that I have available. He is. Did you see it? He did it again. Oh, I am getting just cheesed out here. They already got me down to one guy. Because of stun lock. Was that England? England absolutely ripped me apart. Absolutely ripped me apart. All right, we're gonna try one more time. One more time. We can't let it go there. We're too hot-blooded for that. We're too Nekketsu for that. Gimme the ball. All right, here. No, okay. I'm definitely holding directions when I'm not intending to hold directions. Gotta work on that. That was me accidentally hitting the pass button. No! That was what I was trying to do. Come on. Catch your breath. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna mess you up for that. You had that one coming. All right. Wait, no! What? Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I feel like when they get right up to the line like that, they're really just asking for it, right? And then when you get them in that stun, yeah. Taste your own medicine. So, I was gonna say, somebody better get that. No. No, I do not mean to keep running that far back. Oh, God. I'm terrible at Super Dodgeball. All right. One more time. They're celebrating. They're mocking me. They're celebrating way too much for me to take this lying down. And after this, we'll move on to our next game. Okay, so get it. Okay, he just caught that one, which is fair. I didn't throw it badly or anything. All right. All right. And I don't quite have the timing to do the catch consistently, which is honestly probably really the piece that I'm missing here, right? Why? I must be holding down when I do that. Oof. All right, this is not... We are not going to be dodgeball champions tonight, I'm afraid. Okay, come on, catch your breath, buddy. Get it together. Get it together. The Japan Dodgeball Association started in 1991? Maybe? Was there chairman? Was there Chairman Kunio? That does me no good. What do you want me to do with that guy? Oh, well. I'm sure probably all of the Japan Dodgeball Association that started in 1991 was better at this game than I was. So there's that. But yeah, that's Super Dodgeball. A game I wish I was better at. Maybe one day I will be better at. But it's kind of neat the way it took Kunio, right? It sort of was the halfway point to his chubby little guy look that he has. Then that he would get in all the subsequent sports games and the subsequent beat 'em ups too. From River City Ransom onward, he kind of had a look, right? And it wasn't anything like it looked in that original arcade game. But, and I've told this story on stream before, after the original Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun, which they kind of had to retool for the Western market as Renegade, Technos wasn't super happy that they had to, it cost time and money for them to redo all that. They wanted a game that they could just release in both the West and in Japan, right? Who can blame them? And so Kishimoto was tasked with that, and what he ended up producing was a game you all know, I'm sure. Again, let me just make sure I transition to the right scene here too. Yes, very good. Was this game about some dragons Maybe 2 of them? We'll have to see. Yeah, this game. And the sounds can be a little shrill in this one, so I'm going to turn it down a tiny bit. This is the arcade version, of course. Different from the NES version, which we'll take a look at after this. But where do people stand on the old debate of Kunio-kun series versus Double Dragon series, I wonder? Which button was this again? Hold on. Even though I just played this game, it was these two. Okay. Oh, there we go. The old elbow. Elbow dudes the game. That's what we're going to be doing through pretty much this entire run. I did manage to 1 credit clear this, I think, on the first stream, so some of you are getting some repeat viewing here, but that's okay. We'll see the other version as well, which will probably be more familiar to some of you, and we were kind of talking a little bit about it earlier. I also forgot, and we'll do that after this. We'll take a look at some magazines after this too to see what some of these games rated. I meant to do that after each of the games we played, but I forgot. We won't be doing the arcade ones that we looked at in the first stream. Yeah, the car from Road Avenger. So yeah, I didn't point that out. But the car that was in that garage was from Road Avenger. And in Double Dragon 2, which we haven't played on stream here yet, it was what, the helicopter from the other game he did with Data East, was it? Whose name the name I'm completely blanking on. There's a Bobo coming out of the wall, as he's wont to do. But yeah, we can elbow groups of people. We can elbow them all. Elbows all day long. Elbows for everyone. Except when you miss the input. Which, this is not the last time you'll see me do that. No, I did actually not want to pick that up, but you know what? Until a Bobo makes me drop it, we'll hit him with the bat a little bit. Yeah, in general, the NES version will see this play out a little bit differently, but like that was not good. Hopefully that doesn't cost me a life this early. So that would be a real shame. We don't want to scroll too far to the right because then we'll spawn our boss here, which... Oh god, and I have 1 bar of health. Good lord. Okay. We'll see how this works. Up, sir. Red Spectra, hello. We've got through we're doing a little bit of a repeat of the first stream. We got through some arcade Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun. We took a look at the home port. We took a look at the arcade version of Super Dodgeball. And now we're on to arcade Double Dragon, which you may have seen on the first stream, but we're going to do the home port of Double Dragon after this as well, which we have not streamed. But you know what? I don't need an excuse to play this game. I love this game, even though it's just elbowing dudes over and over and over again. At least if you're playing it to win. And all that slowdown, that's on the board. That's not emulation. That's not I'm not running a potato here, and B, it will do this on any computer because it is all on the board. You play this on an original board, you get this insane slowdown there too. I can tell you firsthand that that's the case. Come on. Elbow. Line up for your elbows. You're just gonna sit there? Okay. I'm alright with that. Waiting his turn. I appreciate it. But yeah, I feel like maybe in Japan it's a different story, but I feel like most people would think of this as being maybe Kishimoto's seminal work in the West versus, you know, Renegade. I mean, there's probably some folks here who are, oh, I did not mean to pick up box. There are probably some folks here who are around my age, and like there were Double Dragon machines all over the place in the U.S. They were hard to escape even years after the fact. So like you can't really deny how big of a fever there was for this game here. I think I encountered my first one a year or two after. This came out in 1987, so a year or two after it was new, in a 7-Eleven, which is where I played a lot of early arcade games in the 7-Eleven. They'd have a cabinet or two in there. And a Double Dragon and a Double Dragon 2 as well. That's where I ran into them. Yeah, they're not known for their fair fighting, are they? I'm afraid. They don't mess with that too much. Though, I mean, I am just elbowing them repeatedly, so am I fighting fair with a move that is so powerful? I don't know. Maybe not. I want to get rid of this guy. The other guy. Can I get you onto... I'm trying to get you up onto here. Okay, yeah, here we go. Come on. No, he's not going backwards. I was trying to knock him into the trash bin, but where he belongs. And you've got to appreciate the sense of storytelling, right? So like the fact that this is like scenes that cohesively take you from one level to the next, versus just like, okay, here's level 1, here's level 2, with like you know, screens in between. It's like you get to see Billy or Jimmy or whoever walk from one section to the other. Like that's pretty neat. That's good design thinking for 1987 especially. Double Dragon, obviously based on action movies, right? Like it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Like so many of these beat 'em ups were based on like Streets of Fire and the Warriors and things like that, right? This is all very, very well recorded. Especially when it comes to games like Final Fight, you hear like the development team talking about how they had like Streets of Fire and stuff on while they were developing the game. Kishimoto was a big martial arts movie guy, so I'm sure he probably had some films on while he was working on this. Or no barrel, don't want the barrel, thank you. No. That whip does some damage. Like my health went from full to 2 bars. Good lord, we don't want to be losing lives this early, ideally. Though honestly, I'm far more worried about the integrity of my run for the next version of this game versus this, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We got the Machine Gun Willie wanted poster in the background there, right here. Come on down from your tree. I will say, well, I don't know. I feel like my opinion changes on which one, like, would I rather play this as a game, like this or the NES version? I really appreciate how ambitious the NES version was, even though I can understand the standpoint of someone who really, like, loved playing this in the arcade and was like, this isn't the arcade game. What the hell? What have they done? You know, what have they done to my precious child? Oh, boy. So I get it. But I do appreciate them doing something different that's not, you know, I don't feel like anyway categorically bad, but the music in the NES version is just so much better. Those arrangements are so good. All right, here we go. This part. We all love it. Having to jump in a Double Dragon. No, God, no. I knew it. I knew he was going to do it. I knew it. Ah, God damn it. Okay. Well, one life there. It will not be it is not the first or the last time I've lost a life at this particular part of the game. That bridge, the whole situation they put you in on that bridge is just a nightmare. Also a nightmare on the NES version, too. So I guess they were just kind of keeping with trends there. Woo! Come on. I think some of you guys have knives. Oh, you just picked up the knife. I just saw it. I know you want to throw it. There we go. I forget if I can knock him into that pit or not. I might be able to. But weirdly, he falls into me and not away from me when I elbow him. Which is like, oh, all right. All right, fine. All right, anyway. Oh, come on, Mame. What happened? Okay, I moused away from Mame for a second, and it took it upon itself to freeze? Question mark? Which is fun. All right, one moment. I have save states for Mame here. I don't know why that happened. That's weird. If it's not OBS, it's MAME. Let's see here. I've played this on stream before. We're not gonna bother ourselves too much with a 1cc. I'll just kind of pick up from the next level that I left off. The real one I kind of want to show is the NES version, and we'll get to that if we can, we're at the same number of lives and everything. I lost a life down from 2 to 1, so we're pretty much right on the same path here. Hello. Double Dragon NES will not be so much of an elbow game. There is an elbow in that game. It is not nearly as useful as it is in this one. So you'll see a little bit more move variety, at least when we get to that. If anybody played this in the arcade at the time, I'm curious if you knew about the that dynamo. Oh, great. Okay. I'm curious if you knew about the elbow trick, because I didn't. I did not actually learn the elbow trick until much later in life, until I started kind of, trying to figure out games and what the ways were to cheese them. I don't even know that when I first played this in arcades if I knew that you even how to do the elbow. I am dropping those inputs like crazy. Good lord. Performance like that, this was not going to be the run anyway. All right, come on, back down. Get back down here. The bosses, who are placed as regular enemies, just take so many goddamn hits. And you've got lovely green Abobo here. Oh, no. Don't need to take that clap. Thank you very much. And just for fun, we'll see if we can do the final level here on one on one life. All right, I missed my timing. I was supposed to walk forward as soon as here, I'll actually show to see if I can do it. I think I actually kind of want to show this just to see if I'm right or if it was a fluke. So level 5, right? Here we go. We're going right in, right? Look at that. No bricks. If you go right in and you go right to it, that's going to hit me. That dynamite's going to hit me. Yep. But you get to walk through the bricks with no... Get blown up by the dynamite. You get to walk through the bricks with like no challenge, basically. All right, this one... There we almost. We're gonna at least take advantage of our invincibility there. Look at this guy do his hobble through here. His little shuffle. And we're approaching... Oh, that's right. We have, what, 2 Abobos? Yeah, 2 Abobos. Maybe I can keep you guys lined up like this and just... If I don't... Oh, okay. They walked right through me. Really? Okay. Can I get you guys lined up again? No, not so much. Love getting those guys lined up, because, oh. Oh no, this is not good. Okay. That is the worst situation to be in. Let's see if we can just loop these guys like this here. Yeah, losing a life from the status. It's dumb. There is a way around it. And it's totally different in the NES version too. Like the pattern is totally different. The way you get around it is totally different. But yeah, it's dumb. Just like the platforming, really any kind of like platforming or like obstacle avoidance in Double Dragon, it's like it's not what people want. Come on. Be serious here for a second, right? So not the greatest decisions I feel like were made around that particular piece, but I don't know. In aggregate, I feel like Double Dragon 1 is not as big of an offender of this as Double Dragon 2 is, especially the NES Double Dragon 2, where there is like platforming galore and like no one wants to do platforming in a Double Dragon stage. Come on. Yeah, this is not gonna... Maybe we can get, at least get Willy on here, but we got more guys that'll come out first before he shows up. At least we got a Bobo. Oh, I hate it when the headbutt comes out by mistake. Do not want that. Alright. God, these 3 idiots. Oh, there's Willy. Really? Okay. They kept platforming in Double Dragon 4. We'll credit for this one just to see the ending here. Yeah, if they did that, like, oh wait, it didn't. Okay, my continue went up. All right, that's weird. All right. Wait. What? Okay, that's strange. I haven't played enough Double Dragon 4, and so my best guess is that they were thinking that, like, oh, this is, you know, a part of the lineage of the series as I'm letting myself get machine gunned again, thinking about Double Dragon 4. So, I mean, my guess is that that's probably why they did it, but, like, for what, you know? Like, that was not the part of it that anyone liked. That's for sure. I have not met a soul who is like, you know what, that Double Dragon platforming, that's all right. There is no one who thinks that. Not anyone. But in general, I guess I'm glad that that didn't end up being a huge thing in beat 'em ups, is that for the most part, they, you know, stuck to their lanes, and they did what they were good at. No, you guys cannot leave. At least Super Double Dragon had very little platforming in it at the last stage. It's been so long since I played Super Double Dragon that I don't even really remember what the last stage of it was, to be honest. I know people's opinions on Double Dragon, on Super Double Dragon are a little bit mixed these days. Back in the day when I played it, like, maybe I was just really Double Dragon starved. But I thought it was neat. But I also recognize that it doesn't necessarily feel a lot like a Double Dragon game. So there's, you know, mixed opinions, and I understand why there are mixed opinions. And Kishimoto was in the credits here as Yoshikishi, which is still how I think how I think of his name now, because that's pretty neat. Yoshikishi is pretty cool. All right. And as I mentioned before, before we get into our next game, I wanted to quickly look at something that we like to do here on stream, which is sometimes looking at some magazines and seeing, like, what the opinions were on these games, how they rated, how people felt about them. Right? Yeah, that's my favorite photo of him. People have been using this photo of him in, like, a leather jacket and sunglasses, you know, looking like a tough guy, that I'd never seen actually before people started posting it in articles as of his passing. But this has always been my favorite photo of him. I'm not 100% sure who the guy is down there in the corner, like you see, like, peeking out from underneath the Double Dragon frame. There's another one that I didn't get ready in time for this of him, clearly in an American arcade, because the people around him are not Japanese. But he's standing behind someone, I think, in a Renegade machine. It might be a Double Dragon machine, but I think it's a Renegade machine, like, standing behind someone while they're playing, just kind of like posing, like, yeah, they're playing my game. It's very, very cute. You love Super Double Dragon. While the game took too long to complete, the combat was fun. Again, I don't remember enough about it to even remember the length. Like, I'm very, very sensitive to beat 'em ups being too long these days. Probably because I'm old and I don't like long games anymore. But I probably, when I go back and play it for scrolling down the belt, I'm sure I'll think the same. Yeah, Jump Scare Armpit Man. It's very easy to miss that guy. I don't think I noticed him at first either. And we got a Twitch ad starting in a minute here. but that's okay because you're not going to miss any gameplay, and we're just going to look at magazines. And so I meant to do this a little bit earlier with some of the other ones, but let's go. Oh, we got to hide. We got to hide Yoshihisa here. And we got to go to PDF. I just redid my layouts here. Let's see, are we getting what we want here? Yes, we are. Famitsu magazine with our Famitsu cover boy for many, many years. I always loved it in the later issues when they brought him back. One thing, we're a ways out from it yet, but one thing I'd like to do, if people are interested in it, let me know if this sounds cool. But I'd love to, maybe once a week, just like go through an old issue of Famitsu, like not as the whole stream, but just like maybe pick one issue and go through it kind of like cover to cover. Not reading, I'm not going to translate every single thing. That would take forever and people wouldn't want that anyway. But just kind of, not even in the context of a single game like we've been doing for these magazines here, but like people might just kind of like to see some of the things that were in them and getting, translations of parts of them at least. So if that sounds interesting to people, let me know, and I might do that one day. Let me zoom out just a touch for this, and we'll zoom in again on when we reach the part we want. We'll just kind of take a quick tour of it up until this point. Again, we won't camp out on things too long because we have a schedule to keep. We got a very high quality disk system release from Square's disk system label called Dog. Let's see here. We've got okay, we can these aren't our cross review section, which is what we're looking at for this particular issue, but Famitsu also does the top 30. So like this is like the top 30 popular games that are out here now. I think this might either be based on reader vote or on sales. I have to refresh my memory on that. I'm not 100% sure. But just maybe take a look at what some of the top ones are here, and what do we got for the date on this one? We've got a date on this one of May 1st, 1987. This is before Famitsu went weekly, when they were still bi-weekly. And then we have The Goonies 2 at number 1. So very, very popular Famicom game. We've got Dragon Quest 2 at number 2. We've got Mickey House, was that, God, I'm trying to remember what Mickey House was in English. What the English title of it is. It definitely got or it was converted into being some other property that wasn't Mickey Mouse or something to that effect. I'm not up on the history of my Mickey games here. And a whole lot of sports games here. We've got Golf Japan Course, which I believe that was the Disk System title, perhaps. And we've got Pro Yaku Family Stadium, so Pro Yaku Family Stadium. And that's the top 5 most popular Famicom games of this snippet in time. We've even got a USA top 10. Look at that. They were paying attention to this with their reports from New York that they had from time to time here. And you've got I would say, a top 10 that makes sense for the NES in the US for, what was this, 1987? You've got Commando, you've got Excite Bike, got the original Super Mario Brothers, Ghosts and Goblins, Gradius, Kung Fu, 10-Yard Fight, Golf, Donkey Kong, Hogan's Alley, which I think is that actually how it's spelled? Did they actually write it out with a G? Anyway, so yeah, pretty US-centric top 10 there, I would say. And now we get to what we came for. We get to the reviews. So here earlier we took a look at the Famicom port of Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun. Thank you, Starlight Midori Land. I knew I could count on you for that. Mickey Mouse Capade on the NES. Yes, that's what it was. It was on the tip of my tongue. I just wasn't quite pulling it up. And we have a handful of games reviewed in this issue, but the one we're focusing on here is not Kinnikuman. It's not Dynamite Bowl, but instead it is indeed Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun, aka Renegade, which we've got kind of right in the middle here. So let me take a drink of water here. Yeah. So Kunio-kun got a 6 and 8, a 7 and a 7. Let's see who our reviewers were. We've got Tofuya Famibo, we've got Mizuno Tensho, we've got Morishita Mariko, and we've got Gascon Kanaya. So pretty standard review staff for this point in time. And again, we've got 6, 8, 7, 7. So what were on a high level, what were some of the things that they had to say about this, right? So what I really find interesting about Tofuya Famibo's here is he's calling it sort of a kakuto game. So like kakuto game or kakuge for short is like what Japanese people call fighting games even now, kakuge. So he's calling it kakutogi game, so not straight up a fighting game, but sort of like a fighting move game, you might say. Which is, I guess, what they kind of called brawlers or beat 'em ups back then, because the fighting game, at least as we know it now, didn't really exist at this point, right? Like there were kind of early versions of it, but it was not in the state that we know it now. So he's basically saying this is kind of a weird one of those. It has a lower difficulty than the arcade version, so it is pretty well ported. I don't think it's well ported. Like if you think about it just as a port, right? I don't think it's a good port. I think it's an interesting game, but it's not a good port. But I agree that the difficulty level is lower, so I think he's dead on there. And so there's a lot to like about it. As a fan of these type of games, it left him very satisfied, and he'd recommend it. So even at a 6, like he seemed pretty happy with it. This is Mizuno Tensho's review. I remember calling this out in the Scrolling Down the Belt episode, and this one is a really weird piece of text to me. So he basically says like he doesn't like tsupari type people very much. So like Yankee, like these sort of like this high school tough guy archetype, right? He doesn't like them very much. But he acknowledges that there's good people who are those people. And Kunio is one of those good people, which I think we can at least all agree on. He says the movement and the graphics are great, and it's really fun to play. He's very opposed to violence, but you can't help but having fun with this game. So weird review, especially for giving it an 8. And our next reviewer here, Morishita Mariko, says that she can't really she feels like she's gotten a glimpse into a world that she doesn't understand of these like tsupari type guys who say, namen nayo, zaken jane, this, all this stuff. I don't know how accurate that is to real life, but okay, sure. She says there's all sorts of moves, and so it kind of has the same feeling as a pro wrestling type of game. So, sure, okay, yeah, I guess. And our final reviewer here is talking about like there's school uniform wearing tough guys on the platform on the Yamanote line and inside of the car, and you're even getting into brawls with ladies. So it's it's a game full of very exciting fights. And it's a look into the world of a manga called Kyuchi Kazuhiro, who is the author of Bebop High School, kind of like one of the first tsupari sort of manga that all these things draw influence from. So that's 6877 is what we're looking at for this home port of Kunio-kun. Not bad. But we have another home port that we just played here, right? So let's, well, actually, we haven't played that home port yet. What we did play was the arcade version of Super Dodgeball. So let's take a quick peek at how that did before we move on to our, what's probably our final game of the evening here, but we'll see. So this is Game Machine from the new year in 1988. It is January 1st, even 1988. Yeah, and it is interesting to see Super Famicom disk systems alongside Famicom games in the review pages. And like it gets this early on, like, I mean, obviously there was stuff coming out on Sega platforms and whatnot, but they were very focused on Famicom output, which they would change fairly shortly after this. They'd expand out to cover some of that other stuff a little bit more closely. But at this point, they were very Famicom centric, whether it be disk system or whatever. We're going to take a peek at this issue of Game Machine so we can look and see how Super Dodgeball did. But we have an ad for a favorite game of mine, which you all will definitely see on stream at some point, which is the Ninja Warriors. Very difficult, but very interesting single plane beat 'em up from Taito. You'll definitely be seeing it. We have our favorite children's attractions here. Let's see what we got. We've got the Lucky Train. We've got Fantastic Boat. Or wait. Yeah, Fantastic Boat. Pretty typical stuff, I would say, but I don't know. As a person who's worked in an arcade and had to do a little bit of maintenance on these things and have them around, I find it interesting when this stuff appears in the page of this magazine. And yeah, like Starlight Midori then said, Famitsu is short for Famicom Tsushin. So Famicom right there in the name after all. So kind of makes sense that that's what they were very dedicated to, at least in the early days. Let's see what else we can see on the way down. Oh, here it is, billiards. Everyone's favorite sport. They are getting mentions in the pages of Game Machine in 1988. I had a funny GIF that Enerjax made earlier that I forgot to load up into OBS for the stream, that maybe I'll keep on deck for the next time billiards comes up, because God knows it's gonna happen again. It was they're really pushing those billiards tables here in the pages of Game Machine. We've also got nandake Poketo Gyaru, so Pocket Girl. Speaking of billiards, we've got where you can play billiards with sexy ladies, I guess, because you can play mahjong with, yes, billiards. Dracula, I feel like Dracula is the type of person who has a rumpus room. When was the last time you heard someone say rumpus room? But I feel like Dracula absolutely has a rumpus room where he goes in and drinks brandy out of a snifter and plays not pool, but billiards, proper billiards. Not any of this pocket girl stuff. He doesn't care about playing billiards with sexy ladies. He plays it for the love of the game. That's my vision of Dracula. Mr. Heli no Daiboken. There he is, Mr. Heli. What else do we got? Let's see here. We've got, oh, hey, Thunderblade. That's an ad for Thunderblade. Anybody ever, I think, gosh, is it, I mean, I know the Galloping Ghost has one, but I feel like I've seen a Thunderblade appear at Midwest Gaming Classic, which is coming up at the end of the month here pretty soon. But I feel like I've seen a sit-down Thunderblade appear there before. I don't know if it will this year, but who knows? Maybe. Yes, Dracula in the Rumpus Room of Doom. We've got the old Street Fighter cabinet with the pneumatic buttons there, a perennial favorite if you want to make your hands really hurt. We've definitely talked about that on the stream before. We've got, we're almost to the rankings here, I think. We've got, oh, look, it's a golf game where sexy ladies are your caddies. Can you sense a theme? A theme happening here? Never head up. This difficulty is real golf. And here are your caddies. You've got look, okay. That's a pretty normal looking guy, but look, you've got like this dumpy, let me zoom in on this a little bit. You've got this dumpy dude standing next to this.
Congratulations!
Congratulations! Congratulations for I'm not sure what I'm being congratulated for reading a magazine, for finding sexy ladies, for finding billiards. But yeah, you got this fellow here. Yeah, I don't know. Did we have an atlas appearing on one of these that I missed? Was that a thing that I missed here? Maybe I did. Oh yeah, there they are. Yeah, I didn't know that they had much to do with the distribution of arcade games either, to be fair. I might have glossed right over that if you hadn't pointed it out. But wouldn't you know it, there's more billiard tables here too. We've got Golden King 2. I didn't realize that billiard tables had names. That's what you were going for. Okay, yeah, that sound drop is from the Wacky World of Miniature Golf featuring Eugene Levy. And so yes, this is a golf game. I was dense and did not pick up on that. But I didn't know that billiards tables had names. Like I didn't know that you could buy a billiards table called the Golden King 2. An English Mark darts, apparently, as well. And you've got, of course, like a racing car circuit kind of thing down here as well, which I feel like we've seen coming up in these magazines a little bit more and more as time's gone on. Looks like we had a New Orleans entertainment show as well. I did not know that they had such a thing. And I think we are almost to our rankings here. The stroke limit game. I don't believe he is here in the stream right now unless he's lurking on YouTube, but friend of the channel and the stream, Ubersaurus, aka Kevin Bunch, who runs the Atari Archive YouTube channel, wrote maybe the only guide, I'm not sure, but it is a clear guide that is on GameFAQs. He co-wrote it for Wacky World of Miniature Golf, the guide for that game on GameFAQs. So think of him coming up with all the strategies for you when you play through Eugene Levy's game, please. A couple interesting ads here, interesting in different ways. You've got the Lone Wolf and Cub beat 'em up here, actually, which there's a scrolling down the belt episode on that, and you may also, Kozure Okami, a favorite film series of mine, and also the game is pretty neat. It's hard. You really got to learn it. The timing in that game is something to be learned. And of course, Ojo-san, translated as Tokyo Ladies, which is, I believe, is this a mahjong? What is this? What do we got going on here? Oh, it's slots. Various types of gambling pursuits. All right. Here's what we all came for, right? We came for American darts, electronic American darts from America. We'll zoom in here a little bit on the rankings just so people can get a little bit better look at those. And we immediately see Super Dodgeballs here at number 2. So Super Dodgeball doing pretty good right out the gate. Not as good as Street Fighter 1, which we saw some ads for. Yeah, I feel like darts themselves can't be American, right? Like the idea of the game of darts. I do not know the origins of the game of darts, but I feel like it's probably not American. But maybe, I don't know, it's being seen as being American in this case. Maybe because it's called Bull Buster. Nothing more American than bull busting. Which I assume is adjacent to riding mechanical bulls or something. But not doing as well as Street Fighter 1, which came up from number 2. So this is the table version of it. You can see the upright one with the pneumatic buttons that we saw earlier is over here on the upright side. So they finally put it in a table, a thing where you don't have to pound buttons with your hands, and it did better. So who would have guessed? It didn't set the world on fire like its sequel would in 1991, but it was up there at the top of the charts. Like it did numbers. It was regarded. You'll hear some Capcom employees' thoughts on Street Fighter 1 in the upcoming later this month Final Fight video that I've been working on. I've found some interesting quotes from Nishitani about Street Fighter 1. But we got Super Dodgeball, number 2, yay. We got Shinobi. They're using the romanization of it that I hate. People don't say it's Shinobi. That's not a thing. Stop doing that. It's a terrible romanization system. Does people write ZDU? No. Stop it. Don't do it. It's wrong. Don't do it. But Shinobi, wonderful arcade game and was deserving of number 1 and got knocked down by Super Dodgeball, but I can see it for the multiplayer appeal, right? You got good old Twin Cobra debuting at number 4. You've got Super League from Sega, Thundercade, what is that? Tokushu Butai UAG, aka Thundercade. Got Rainbow Islands, our sort of Bubble Bobble follow-up. Torai no Michi, Tiger Road, sort of, kind of a beat 'em up. I didn't decide to cover it on Scrolling Down the Belt as a beat 'em up, but it's not, that far up. Rack 'em Up, aka The Husura, the Hustler. Unattached Grenader. Interesting. I did not. I assume that's like a real, is that like a real military term, or is that something that they made up? But this is obviously a billiards game, right? It has to be. But I appreciate that they did not localize the Hustler as the Hustler, but they instead localized it as Rack 'em Up. Pac-Mania, which I don't know. I don't know what people's feelings on Pac-Mania are these days, but I like it. I have a real soft spot for it. I played it a lot in arcades as a kid growing up, probably more than the original Pac-Man for a time. We've got R-Type, which we've covered here on the stream before. Big influential shooter. It's kind of starting to fall its way down the list now. Big Event Golf. Gemini Wing from Tecmo. You've got Versus Family Stadium, RBI Baseball. You've got Super Real Darwin, SRD, from Data East. You've got Time Soldier or Battlefield from SNK. You've got Capcom's classic shooter 1943. You've got Double Dragon here, still hanging on the list up until 1998. Touchdown Fever from SNK, must be an American football game. You've got Black Dragon, aka Black Tiger from Capcom. You've got Wonder Boy and Monster Land, from Sega. You've got Flying Shark from Taito. You've still got Side Pocket, which I did not realize the extent of how popular Side Pocket actually was. I know we're in the age of billiards, but even so, like, Side Pocket has been sticking around here for a while now. You've got Free Kick, and you've got the Arkanoid sequel, Revenge of Doe. And you've got your your mahjong category at this point, which is, you know, it's mahjong games. It's I don't know if these are favorites of everyone. I know Super Real Mahjong, so probably Super Real Mahjong Part 2 is a perennial favorite series. And you have kind of really the usual suspects here for the upright and cockpit style cabinets, but Heavyweight Champ from Sega, notable for being at the top of the uprights here, even above things like Afterburner and Operation Wolf and Outrun, and these sort of, you know, classic upright cabinets that have stuck around for a while, right? Let's see. We've got got Che Guevara, his game, him and Fidel Castro liberating Cuba. So an ad for that, and I think we've seen a Final Lap ad here before, but we've also got a lovely ad for the dual sit-down Final Lap as well. But before we go to our last magazine, let's go also to our, probably what will be our final game of the night here to kind of close out this this Kishimoto-centric stream here. And you can probably guess what this is based on the fact that we just played the arcade Double Dragon. But, and then you get thrill as I navigate RetroArch here. But we are indeed going to be playing the, we'll do the US ROM for this. Not that it really matters. There's no real regional differences as far as I know for this one. But yes, the NES port of Double Dragon. Pulling up my notes for this one because I am not as familiar with this as I am the arcade version, because it's a little bit less straightforward. But yeah, I mean, this, I would, depending on who you are, of course, I would say that there's a good chance that this is the version of Double Dragon you may know best. I technically think I played the arcade version first. Like I said, found it in a 7-Eleven. And I'm pretty sure I played this one shortly after, though. I feel like this was a Christmas or a birthday gift or something that either I asked for or someone picked out for me because they saw me playing the arcade game. And I played this game a lot. I don't think I ever beat it as a kid, but I have beat it in the time since. And so let's see just how absolutely bonkers it is. So let's show something first. Mode A, Mode B. So you've got, you know, a 1 or 2 player alternating. This is not a 2-player simultaneous game. In Mode A, but in Mode B, it is. What is Mode B? Well, Mode B, what is this? This looks like a fighting game. What do we got going on here? Who should we pick? Let's, we got to pick a Bobo, right? Let's pick a Bobo. So here's a Bobo. What happens if I pick a Bobo? Okay, it's always a mirror match. That's interesting. But it's, yeah, it's this. it's kind of an in-engine, you know, Double Dragon fighting game. And like, I don't know if people had fun with this, but I thought this mode was terrible. And even though it did support 2 players, so like, yeah, you can do something with a friend when you play this version of Double Dragon, sure. It's like, but this, it just sucks. Like, it's not, it doesn't, it was not meant to be this kind of a game. I pretty strongly feel that, right? Like, there's not, you don't really have much move variety or anything like this, right? And a lot of the time it just felt like, okay, we're just punching each other to see who gets unlucky first, right? And like, I might even, can I just exploit him by doing this? Like letting him go off axis and walking into my kicks? No, we are trading a little bit. Also, the CPU seemed like, unless he just really kicked my butt earlier, like I feel like the CPU just has a lot more health than I do. You're not coming up? You're gonna make me come to you. Okay, I see how it is. Huh. No, we're trading. Okay, so... walk into it. Come on. But yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't play this one with some friends. But I did not play a lot of it with friends, because, like, it gets boring real quick. Yep. How does everybody... does anybody have any experiences with Double Dragon B mode? Anyone actually have fun with this? Because I did not have a lot of fun with it. So that's... we're not really showing that off today. We're just saying, hey, it's a thing that exists, and you can play it if you want to play it. There's a much better Double Dragon fighting game that would come later on the Neo Geo, which one of these days we'll look at that, because I have a big soft spot for that game. But here's Marion getting punched in the gut again. But you'll see pretty much right from the start that this is not the same Double Dragon that you may know and love. This is its own whole thing. You are gaining levels in this game. You've got experience points down there in the corner that are ranking up, as you can see. And punching gives you more points than kicking, so I'm farming some points here at the beginning at the expense of some of my health, but just to kind of get a level here. Because we can do that. And if you just kind of stagger the punches, and you'll hear the chime of a level up here fairly shortly. And as you gain levels, you unlock new moves, which was absolutely not a thing that you could do in the arcade game, right? And you'll see that there are hearts under my health meter there. There we go. All right. Well, and the kick is a much better attack, right? The kick has much better range. I'll pause real quick to catch up on chat here. A Bobo from the NES port would later be appended to its own Flash game called A Bobo's Big Adventure. Yeah, I did not play a lot of A Bobo's Big Adventure, but I absolutely remember A Bobo's Big Adventure. I was like, man, they drug out that A Bobo sprite so many years later. I remember that. Okay. TMG Junior 1387 actually loved Double Dragon B mode. The sprites were well. Yeah, I'll give you that. The character portrait sprites were new drawings, and so like you did have some new original art in there. Non-stop for 30-minute time frames. Really, would you play it with friends or would you play it against the CPU? Because like even though I did not have a lot of fun with it playing with my own friends, I guess I can see a reality if you have people, you know, playing it more like a fighting game, like people switching in and out. I guess I can kind of see that being more, you know, more entertaining, shall we say. All right, so now I believe what happens now that we're at level 2, we can our combos will end with a roundhouse kick or an uppercut. So we've unlocked that. But what we really want is this whip, because this whip gives us more points even than the punch does. Unfortunately, it takes it away from us. Things like the oil drums, which we'll see in a moment, do not give us points, but you can see just how much more range that kick has. Like I can for the most part hit him before he gets close enough to hit me, unlike the punch where it's like we have to kind of get up in each other's faces and I risk taking hits from him to do that. See, if I do this, like we're trading, right? And we don't want to trade unless we're really trying to like milk for points. Experience points. The barrel doesn't do anything, but we'll pick up the barrel and throw it once just to do it. Because it's fun throwing barrels, right? And we can't do any kind of a jump kick yet. Not yet. We can jump, but we can't do a jump kick. That doesn't get unlocked until we're a little bit higher level. And now we want that whip again. Come on, give me that whip. We get to keep this one for a little bit longer. Lucky for us. All right, hold on. I'm gonna make a save state here because I want to show something that I tried earlier and I ended up like locking the game, which I do not remember doing in the regular version, but I don't wanna make us reset. Okay, so everybody knows this one, right? Boo. And see, I remember him coming back up the bottom, but look at this. This is why I made the save state. Because I'm just stuck up here now. You can hear me jumping, but I'm just stuck. I'm stuck on like the mysterious top part of the screen. Which is you must pause or disable achievements mode. Okay, so it's actually gonna... You know what? I'm just gonna... I'll reset this real quick. We did not make it that far in. I forgot Retro Achievements does this whole thing where it's like, the save states and the... I will not do that glitch, but you saw me walk up the wall. How it's supposed to work in my memories, I'm supposed to be able to go boo, 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 like over and over again, but that did not seem to be how it was there for whatever reason. Maybe that's an emulation thing. I have a real cartridge of this. I actually have a Japanese cartridge, which is not cheap. But I got a pretty good deal on it several years ago, I think during the pandemic, and I was like, I'll get a boxed Famicom version of this game, even though it's not discernibly different from the Western version in any way. Most of my real hardware is Japanese hardware because that's just how I do. At least most of my retro hardware, I should specify. I don't have like a Japanese PlayStation 5 or anything like that. Just farm up to our level 2, and then we'll get going with the... There's our level 2. Get wrecked. You too. More versus CPU than friends. Interesting. So the best versus fighting game player from your friend group, so they would stop playing. So you fell prey to that. Okay. You always win, so I'm not gonna play you. Yeah, There was a time when that was me for Street Fighter 2 and my group of friends before a lot of my friends group became better than me at it. So it was fun while it lasted. All right, I don't have the whip anymore. Come on, throw that barrel. Oh, yep, climbing the ladder. Yeah, these guys are much easier to manage with regular hits. Like I haven't unlocked the elbow yet. The elbow is an unlockable move in this game, but it's just not, it isn't as effective as it is in the arcade version. Like, it's not just the win button. Your kick is honestly just kind of the win button here. All right, see, we're already back to where we were. We are not going to climb that thing this time. Instead, we're gonna whip these ladies and gain points for doing so. The magic number. Come on. Are you okay? There we go. And everyone's favorite part, where indeed we get to knock dudes off the conveyor belt. Come on. Time to fall off the conveyor belt. No, you're not gonna. You're gonna do a little dance on the edge there, huh? No, okay. We're being tricky. I see how it is. There we go. Now you're going off. And a Bobo, you're going off too. Sorry, buddy. Bye bye. And our level 3 is this headbutt, by the way, the double tap headbutt, which is really pretty darn useless. For all intents and purposes. It's really level 4 that we want. No, we're not going to mess with these guys with punches. They're not to be messed with. We will take our points from safe kicks, thank you very much. Alright. Okay, yep, you throw your dynamite. Your dynamite can stay over there. Now there's a trick coming up that I'm not 100% sure I remember how to do. I probably should have looked it up before I did this here. But I definitely knew it as a kid. Batman! Alright, so... There was like a... What was it? It was... Did I have to go here and, like, come back? Let's see if I got this right. Scroll this guy off screen. Let's see if this is how you do it. Is that not it? There's a way to, like, make him invisible. And, like, you can just hit his invisible body, who cannot fight back against you, for, like, just farm points, to just farm experience points. I forget the actual intricacies of doing it. You don't need to do that. It's just kind of a neat trick that I... Oh, you ducked a kick? Look at you. Oh! Take away my whip. Give me that. Though there is a bug that I definitely remember how to exploit here that we'll do in a moment. You got skills. Let him come down. The whip's waiting for you. Alright. I think everybody who's played Double Dragon before knows this one. I feel like this was really, really, really well known. So Shin Taimei here. Kind of a menace of an enemy. You don't have to fight him. What happens if I just decide to go back down like this? I win. Sorry, Chin. Alright. Now stuff gets real, though. Throw that knife. And I think... So the hair grab, we should... Let's see if I can do it here. There we go. So you basically, if you space your kicks correctly, you can get them in a hair grab, and then you can do like 4 kicks and press A to throw. So it is like the move to get through this game, because it just does so much damage, and it's so much safer than almost anything else. I mean, you can just immediately throw them as well. Throw that knife. Okay, alright, okay. You got moves, I get it. Alright. Yeah, the enemies I don't think can hit other enemies in this game, unfortunately. So you can't do... Like, you don't really need crowd control tactics in this game. Like, this isn't really that type of game. Neither really was the original Double Dragon, right? And you really want to use it on chins, because chins are, like, potentially really damaging. And so the further away you can remain from them and take them out, the better, to be honest. I think I could have despawned him there, if I remember correctly. But I'm not as up on all the tricks in this one as I am on the arcade Double Dragon here. Let's see if we can we despawn you, Chin? Yeah, I think that despawned him. Using like some real Final Fight tactics. Oh, see, that's that move that he's it's killer. Like, it does a lot of damage. Okay, we're coming up on it. We're coming up on the part that I've just been dreading this entire time. So what is it? Okay. The jump is so much harder in this game, in my opinion. Because you've got this guy with a knife waiting right on the other side for you. Okay, all right. I'll take it. Oh my gosh. I have never seen that happen before. He knocks himself in the water, and I do not fall in the water, and I get knocked to the other side of the bridge. Truly there is a first time for everything in Double Dragon. Wow. That's kind of amazing. Kind of amazing. I am definitely making a clip of that one, that's for sure. We're up at 5, and 5 is the ground punch attack, or the Kunio style attack where you get him on the ground and punch. Problem is that doesn't give you any experience points. So it's like, it's a neat attack, but like when you're trying to earn experience still, and there are still reasons to earn experience points at this point, you don't really want to be using it if you can help it. Boom. Yeah, it had its yeah, oh my gosh. I have, I should honestly do it as a clip. Like, I put it in my Double Dragon video, but I have an even more comical thing that happened in Double Dragon to me than what you just saw, if you can believe it. And so the classic strat on these guys is try and nail them down with jump kicks. They sometimes duck them. Like that. And I'm trying to get you guys lined up on top of each other so I can hit you both with one, but you're not being very cooperative. Yeah, Double Dragon is a classic. This is the NES version. I don't think I actually changed the game info, my bad. But this is the NES port. We played the arcade port earlier. Why am I walking into a Bobo? That's a bad idea. Come on, can you guys can you guys group up, please? I would really appreciate it if you grouped up. Because I can't do the thing I want to do if you don't group up. Y'all are just being very uncooperative as far as that goes today, aren't you? Did this just free? Oh, did I run out of time? Wow, I think I ran out of time. So I believe what happened is I lost a life due to time, which I guess that's something that happens when you're laming out a Bobo there. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get him down, and I remember being able to kind of lock him down with kicks on top of him, but that kind of only really works that well if they're lined up. And definitely not when you're between them like that. But yeah, if anybody else has another way they fought these two Abobos, I'd love to hear it, but I feel like this was just like the one that everyone just intuitively figured out. It was just like you go back and forth with jump kicks. Maybe it was in a magazine or something, potentially. Alright, we won't push it too much. Good. Okay, so I believe it's a... So you can continue on here. The game is kind of a jerk to you, to be honest, because you can continue on and go through the level, but you're not meant to. You're actually meant to go into the cave here. And now comes this nonsense. You're sort of reacting to these stalactites, stalagmites, and they can chain you. One gets you. No, this is never my forte, this part, and still clearly is not. And they come in like packs like that, where I just feel like this is unearned nonsense. I guess you just got to keep moving forward when that happens. Oh, God damn it. All right. Great. And so you want to kind of jump up on this. And like, again, this is like the thing where it's like, why am I doing platforming in Double Dragon? Like, this is awful. No! I hit the buttons! I hit jump! Okay. Well, whatever. In the end, I guess this is... Is this where it makes me do the whole cycle over again? I can't quite remember. Great. No, 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 no. We're gonna... I think the higher route is the one I was familiar with. So now, yeah, basically this just loops back around. So like if you fail that jump, screw you. Too bad. I think we're gonna give that one more attempt. I am not an amazing Double Dragon NES player, but usually I can make it a little bit further than that. I have wanted to practice it a little bit more just because I do really think it's a neat game. That's the reason why you learn how to play Mode B. I can see it. I can totally see it. I can absolutely see that. That third level is just some dumb nonsense. It stymies you to this day, Dark Tetsuya. Yeah. Yeah, I did some save states on this when it was in a different setup, but when I was playing this for scrolling down the belt. So yeah, like that footage seeing that video of me doing that is definitely save stated, but like I've gotten further than this in not save states. Come on, give me that second level. I like to grind the second level out right away so I know I can have the hair grab by the time we get to the chins. That's why I take a minute to do this. There we go. Now we can play for real. Evhead, 1991. Welcome. Thanks for following the stream. Welcome to NES Double Dragon on the occasion of the passing of one Yoshihisa Kishimoto. We played some of the Kunio-kun games earlier, the arcade and the NES port, aka Renegade. We played some Super Dodgeball. We played arcade Double Dragon a little bit, and now we're doing the NES port. Kind of taking a look at some of his better known works. And I'm not amazing at NES Double Dragon, but it is a thing that people have a lot of memories of, right? But yeah, getting back to what TMG said, like, I can see being like, okay, I can't make it past level 3, because I rarely made it past level 3 as a kid as well. I think that was probably pretty common. But I can see being like, I can't, like, I have to get more money out of my game than more out of my game for my money than this. And so just really kind of becoming fond of Mode B for that reason. That makes sense. You can only get to level 3, level 3 in Double Dragon on the NES so many times before you're just like, I'm done. I'm done. So, yeah. Oh, hello. I forgot that they keep... Get right up on you right away. All right, come on. Get on. You're not gonna let that happen to you. I see. Oh! You got jump kicks! Forgot you had jump kicks. Now you're gonna go off the edge, aren't you? All right, Abobo's going off the edge as usual. We can't not knock Abobo off the edge, right? This doesn't feel good if you don't. All right. All kicks from here on out. Trying to get this guy to not throw his box at me. Or not hit me with his box. He's gonna throw it no matter what, but... Man throws box, man picks up box. So do people who have played both versions have feelings on the music? Their preferences to arcade Double Dragon's music versus NES Double Dragon's music? I personally have always thought the NES one was pretty superior. It's like I like the NES representations of them a little bit better than the really sort of metallic and like chunky, you know, sound that arcade board had. As was, you know, somewhat of the style at the time, to be sure, but... Even like when we get into Final Fight, right? Like the compositions of Final Fight, like, amazing, right? But I don't love the metallic... harsh sound of the Final Fight soundtrack on an arcade board. I actually much more prefer pretty much any... I don't prefer playing the Final Fight ports to the original, but I prefer the music in pretty much any Final Fight port you give me over that original arcade, the way the tune sounded on the original arcade version. And I kind of feel the same way about Double Dragon. Alright, that's right. Calm down, calm down. Come on. We got something for you. I've got something for you! But it's not insurance. It's a whip. Alright, and we won't fight Shin legit again, just like we didn't last time. Why? Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time to actually fight Shin. You gotta fight way too many of them later. So we're gonna walk away. And here we are back at 3 again. To have our ass handed to us again, probably. If nothing else, by the cave. Now we can do the jump kick. Come on, throw that knife. Oh, okay, we both got jump kicks. Oops. Meant to do more hits on him than that. Is he dead? He must be dead. Come on. Always gonna be fishing with those kicks to try to get the hair grab. Throw that knife. And again, even if we don't get the hair grab, it's like, okay, it's still not a bad scenario because you get a nice ranged kick that is relatively safe. Like, as we saw, those guys can jump kick you out of it, but, you know, better than punching. Oh. You're gonna be like that, huh? See if we can despawn you. Yep. Oh, no, we can't maybe we can despawn you now. Maybe we can despawn both of you. Oh, no, okay. Now we got 2 of you to deal with, which is not great. Okay. Oh, I thought he was gonna get me with that kick for sure. Maybe I can despawn you now. Or you're just dead. Alright, here we go again. Really? Okay. Okay. I don't have any faith that my luck is gonna be quite as good as it was last time. Alright, that was not bad. That was not bad at all. I'll take that. For those of you who may not have seen my first attempt at that, I jumped. The guy with the knife hit me, knocked himself into the water, but not me. I landed on the other side of the bridge, which is a double dragon first for me. I've had some weird stuff happen in this game, but never that. I think it's just ropers from here on out, which isn't exactly the end of the world. Hopefully we won't. Last time we actually ran out of time on the abobos. And so that cost us a life, which I almost certainly would have burned through in the cave anyway, so, like, don't get me wrong, but... that one's just sitting there doing nothing. Alright. Fingers crossed for better luck with the abobos this time. Already ducking the jump kicks. Come on, guys. Can we line up? Can we line up? No, we can't. Oh, they both ducked me. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, okay. Nope. Come on, line up. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work for me because they were too staggered. There is a way where if they're lined up correctly, though, you can kind of get over them and do standing kicks, and it works, you know, reasonably well. But clearly they're not going to cooperate with me this time. Okay. Still got some time here. Ooh, I felt like I was a little too close to him there. You're just... look at you! If one of you could please die soon. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, back into the cave. Alright, this absolute nonsense. I mean, these aren't really that hard to react to, but, like, all it takes is one mistake to set off, like, a chain reaction, right? Or an accidental headbutt. God damn it. Okay, at least I only took one hit from it. That's not the end of the world. Alright, so we jump up onto this one. We jump straight up onto this one. There we go. That's how we're supposed to do it. All right, I think I gotta read notes for this next part because I'm a little bit rusty here. Oh yeah, we're drop down twice, jump kick over the pits, wait until the screen scrolls on. Okay, I think I got it. All right. I don't think we have any more of the falling stalactites. Oh god, but we got 2 chins. That's what we want. We want you guys to behave. Be friendly. Not like that. That's not friendly. And I'm trying to remember. Are we going this way? Or am I just doing the same thing to myself again and I was supposed to go into that door? God damn it, NES Double Dragon. I hate this game. I hate this level. I hate this level, I should say. I do not actually hate this game, but this level is just miserable in so many ways. Like that, how... I really just feel like you have to inch your way through here to be even remotely successful. Oh my god. I think maybe I had to go in that door behind Chin. Those platforms aren't lining up. We don't want to jump yet. They will eventually line up. But it's the most fun part of Double Dragon, right, everyone? Platforming. Waiting for platforms to arrive. Thrill. Alright, we wait till this one gets all the way to the end, and then we go here. I think... So the chins... now I'm like, can you even go in that door? I don't know. We'll find out after we beat the chins. Alright, I'm up to 6. That's good. Good lord, okay. Guys are gonna be jerks about it, I see. Oh my god. God damn it. No, come on. Alright, can I go... Okay. Yep, this is actually what I wanted. Okay, it reset my health at least. That's something. Now, so I'm pretty sure he just circled back around to the other side of the screen, unless this is another guy. Nope, you keep that dynamite out of here, sir. Really? How was I supposed to bait him into throwing that without just taking it in the face? Already, because of a stupid dynamite, chewed through most of the health here. Alright, so here I like to just drop down. I love the like falling animation there. So goofy. No, what? I hit the buttons. I hit the buttons. I swear to God, I hit the buttons. Oh, that is NES Double Dragon. Maybe another time we will see further than level 3, but that is not going to happen for me tonight, I'm afraid. But it does not mean that we can't look at what Famitsu Magazine thought of wonderful Double Dragon here on... What issue do we have here? We're still in bi-weekly mode, and we are at the April 15th, 1988 issue of Famitsu here. Wonderful. Another wonderful Necky cover, sports-themed cover. Gotta love it. And on our way down to the rankings, we'll just kind of take a look at some stuff here. Moiro Pro Tennis. That sure is a man with a tennis racket. Let's just take a quick look at the Famitsu, the top 5 games of the Famitsu top 30 here. See what things were looking like in mid-April of 1988 in Japan. So we've got Dragon Quest III. No real surprise there. It's a classic. You've got Pro Yakyu Family Stadium 87. No doubt the latest iteration in that series. You've got Kamen Rider Club, which I believe was the first Kamen Rider video game, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of like this goofy little platformer. We'll do there's a lot of Kamen Rider games to stream, but I'm not opposed to doing a look at early Kamen Rider games. We've got Rockman, aka Mega Man here, holding it up at number 4. That is climbing the charts from last time. And we've got Arkanoid 2, which we've seen in the pages of Game Machine many times. But this is the home version. So Revenge of Dough added again. Though I don't know if they called it Revenge of Dough for the home version. Maybe they didn't. What the hell? Let's take a look at the USA top 10. We got, of course, Zelda. No surprise that that's at the top of the charts. We've got Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, Goonies 2, original Super Mario Brothers still hanging on there, Golf still hanging on there, Highway Star, aka Rad Racer, was climbing the charts here from Square. We got Metroid, we got Excite Bike, we've got Pro Wrestling, and we've got Double Dribble. Is that an accurate to the NES voice clip of Double Dribble? I think it is. AKA Exciting Basket. I think I like Exciting Basket a little bit more as a title, but also Exciting Basket doesn't sound as good as Double Dribble. So there's that part of it too. But what we're here for is actually the game reviews. We're here to look at what our review crew thought. We switched to we're not a horizontal format anymore, we're a vertical format. We'll kind of zoom in on this a little bit. We've got Double Dragon, and it's actually scoring pretty well. I believe it scored better. I believe the home port of Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun only had 1.8, and the rest were kind of like 7s and 6s, but we've got 8887 here for Double Dragon, which is really something. But let's kind of quickly see what they had to say on this topic. So Tofuya Famibo, our lead reviewer here, just kind of doing the rundown of this is a side-scrolling action game. It's got A and B modes, one of which is a versus mode, which we've tread that ground here. Game A being what seems like the main mode. And we have, you'll be happy to know, TMG, that we have another B mode lover here at Famitsu. Tofuya Famibo is a kindred spirit because he claims that he likes B mode better than A mode. So you are not the only one. There are others. There is at least one other like you. And when you play it versus, he says it really, things really get heated up, things really get exciting. He says that the background music is really good and it's a well-made game. And yeah, I can't follow him on B mode, but I agree with all the rest of that commentary. Mizuno Tensho, he says that this first Saisho no hou wa kekkou yasashikute. Okay, yeah, from the beginning it was a pretty easy game, even for someone who's bad at these games like him. And so he was able to kind of get through it because of the difficulty level, even though it's like, I don't, when he got to level 3, like, what did he, he thought that was easy? I don't know about that. But anyway, he likes it. He says that the, having a easier game balance for something like this than a more difficult game balance is preferable to him, like tuning it to be too easy rather than tuning it to be too difficult. And in the case of Double Dragon, he feels like the balance is just perfect. Morishita Mariko says that in terms of the with the exception of the story and the setting, the general game flow, the controls, all feel pretty similar to Kunio-kun to her, which is, well observed, right? They're both from Technos Japan. They both kind of come from the same family. It has a bit of a weird control scheme. I don't know that Double Dragon on the NES is that weird of a control scheme compared to Kunio, but okay. You can do all sorts of different moves, but that's sort of the interesting part of this game, they say. Well, thank you for the follow, Dark Tetsuya. Hopefully you tune in again for a future stream as well. Appreciate the follow. So you do all sorts of moves, and that's the appeal of this game. The graphics are nice. She notes some stuttering in there, which probably people watching noticed as well, but still thinks it's a really solid game. Yeah, I'm with you. I obviously wanted to make my streaming multi-platform so that people could watch whoever they wanted, and I already had a YouTube presence first, of course. But when I go, like, if I have the choice, like, a multi-streamer like myself, I'll pick Twitch. Because I don't know why. There are a lot of people I follow who only do Twitch, but even when people are multi-streaming, I'll tend to click on the Twitch one over the YouTube one for whatever reason. I guess I like the vibe of live streams on Twitch better, but like I said, anyone can watch wherever they want, and if you're watching, that's fine with me. Oh, you used to be a part of a video game podcast a decade ago. We played Mode B on one episode. It's been a while, but you believe you beat everyone on the show. Okay. That's what was the video game podcast? I may or may not have heard of it, just curious. And our final reviewer, Gascon Kanaya. Let's see what we've got here. The graphics and the characters are very well done. But the game itself, he says, doesn't feel very fresh, which is, I can see that as a valid observation, right? And then he says, by that I mean, like, the setting has changed from Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun, and he notes that they have added, well, yeah, it like they tried to make it a 2-player game, which here really they're more talking about, like, they tried to make it a 2-player game in the sense of Mode B, I think, though he didn't specifically call Mode B out. I think that's what he means. Yeah, but the types of moves and movement itself are both pretty similar, so that's what it feels like. And then he says that the control scheme is a little hard to understand. I suspect by that he means that maybe he didn't completely get, like, that moves were unlocking as they came along or something, like as you leveled up. That would be my guess, as to what he meant by that. But that is Famitsu for that issue. Well, let's just take a quick look at if they reviewed anything else interesting. Arcade Legacies Beat It or Die Trying. It was called TMG back then as well. Okay. I do not think I happened across that one. I listened to a fair amount of video game podcasts, but I certainly not all of them that have ever been. There's way too many for that. So yeah, they reviewed the horrible NES Famicom port of Ikari Warriors 2. Lord. There's Captain Tsubasa game. Yeah, we'll look through some more Famitsu stuff later. But for now, I'm coming up on time here. So I think we are gonna wind down. So I mean, yeah, that doesn't obviously do justice to complete justice to Yoshihisa Kishimoto's life. He has had a lot more works than that, and a lot more that are worth exploring, which we certainly will explore in future streams. Like there's a lot of his later games that I think are really, really interesting. If not good, interesting. And so I would like to take a look at those, but since, he recently passed, I wanted to at least take this opportunity to play some of the better known ones and kind of look at, what started him down the path, right? I know that if you read interviews with him, you can definitely read about how he has some regrets about his time at Technos, about how maybe they mismanaged their money a little bit, and how he definitely feels that they mismanaged the brand of Double Dragon. Like at points they were just farming it out to anybody, right? And they weren't caring about continuity or lore or really anything like that, right? They were just like, you want to make a Double Dragon game? Money, please. Okay, do whatever you want. We don't care. And so I can understand from a creative perspective why he would not be too into that. Like, he probably saw Double Dragon as his baby, and he was not real happy with what Technos ended up doing to it. Because I don't know if people here agree, but if you look at the Double Dragon series in aggregate, right, and all the games that there have been, I feel there are definitely more bad ones than good ones. Like, I feel like there are probably only a few real, like, unequivocally good Double Dragon games. Most people might just say 1 and 2. And beyond that, it's really up for debate. Yeah. I think some of the later ones are interesting. I think Double Dragon 3 is real neat, and we're going to play that on stream one day, but I know a lot of people do not like that game, even apart from what they did to it in the Western version, where they sort of almost made it like microtransaction based, where you were putting in coins to buy moves and, to get health back and stuff like that. Even putting that aside, I know a lot of people don't like how janky it is, the way it feels, but I don't know. Something about weirdo games like that attract me more often than they repel me, and make me kind of want to learn them on their own terms. So like at one point I was trying to learn a Double Dragon 3 arcade and Famicom 1 credit clear, and maybe I'll get back to that one of these days. Kishimoto, I don't think had anything to do with the arcade version of Double Dragon 3. They basically farmed that one out, but I believe he may have worked on, or at least Technos, if not him, worked on the home port, the home version. And, he did some other weird stuff like the Combat Tribes, stuff like that. And, yeah, I don't know. It's been, he's had a very interesting career. And, yeah, you're lucky to have picked up the Double Dragon collection last month. Some pretty good stuff on there. Yeah, it's not the Double Dragon Kunio one was just jam-packed full of stuff. But I'm also glad that they're putting this stuff out in a way you can buy it a little bit more easily. So yeah, rest in peace, Yoshihisa Kishimoto. Like, you made some great games, and I think you left all of us with a lot of good memories from them as a result. So a life well lived, I hope. So as far as wrapping up here for me, so Thursdays, for at least the next few Thursdays, I'll be streaming again this Thursday. We're going to go back to games about Japanese musicians and artists, some of the games that were in Gameplay Harmonies. We're going to be rounding out some of the Famicom entries there, maybe moving a little forward. So continuing on with those for Thursdays. And next Tuesday, who knows? I'll figure something out. But whatever, maybe we'll do the Final Fight ports next Tuesday, since I originally had those planned for this Tuesday. Yep, Starlight Midori Land. We won't get to Puffy next stream, or this Thursday. We probably won't get to him next Thursday either, if I'm looking at the schedule. But I think the Thursday after that, we'll get Puffy. But we'll definitely hit Saturn and PS1. If not, probably not next stream, but the one right after it. So, and then we get some of the real funny, goofy stuff once we get that far along. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in as usual, everyone. Hope to see some of you back again Thursday. And from here on out, so have until Thursday.